Uh, welcome back to FNS Sports. We are disappointed.
Yes.
That match was a
Robbery.
robbery.
Robbery, pretty much.
Yes, I think that's
Ouch.
the best way to describe it for me, is that we got completely robbed. There are lots of other things we can talk about, which we'll get into.
Yep.
But boiling it all down, Jamaica was robbed of at least a draw
At least a draw, possibly a win.
and possibly a win last night versus Ecuador. I don't even think they want us in Copa America.
No.
I don't think they want us there.
It's like, ew, Jamaica's here? Nah, let's just kick him out.
It was I want to say a very disappointing game to watch in terms of the refereeing, the bias, the amount of I would say not childish, but the kind of soft play from the Ecuador team, falling and acting like characters every chance they get, just complaining.
Yeah, so
that's kind of why I want to say childish.
It's sad football.
Sad football.
It's sad football. You get touched and then you just start roll around because you see that the other team has some momentum. It's like it's hard to describe, but like when you're here in chairs and you're watching the game, you're cheering on your country, then you see another country just rolling around on the pitch after getting two very lucky goals, and all the fans are like going crazy, and like it's sad.
It's very sad. That team has become Ecuador is my number one hated team. It used to be the US, possibly Mexico, but now Ecuador has taken that spot. IHATE. Ecuador. I don't hate. I don't like hating.
No.
But
now you hate.
Now I hate. I don't like Ecuador has really got under my skin. Their play last night was just so soft. The complaining, the referee bias, the handball or the non-handball. You can't make that up.
Yeah.
You can't make any of that up. I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, are we playing against 12?
And yeah, exactly.
And you said we're playing against 16.
16.
Explain that.
We got three refs on the pitch. We're all pretty much blind, and then we got the VAR. This little room in somewhere who's just they can't talk to the refs. Like, yeah, let the biased ref look at it. I think that works better.
Where are the refs from again?
On the pitch was from Chile, and then in the room was Argentina.
Why isn't there anyone from the Caribbean here? That's the thing. Where are you think it's rigged?
I think it's rigged.
It's hard to disagree because I just feel that whenever Jamaica plays, there's always something. The US scored in the 97th minute when there was only supposed to be 6 extra minutes, something ridiculous like that. Back in Nations League. Yeah. It's just always something. Like they had to pull a rabbit out of a hat against Canada. They did that, which was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
They tried their best against Mexico. Again, a 0-1 loss against Mexico is really not terrible, and they could have definitely.
It was close to
getting a draw. And then last night was.
It's a pain. But I think I'm not gonna be like, oh, Jamaica was the best team ever that game. No, of course not. The first 20 minutes was one of the worst football I've ever seen. But when we got this, we got through it, right? We started over. We started playing better football, and then it starts with all this diving from Ecuador, all these yellow cards for nothing. And like Ecuador didn't get anything. They were playing like aggressive, and then they were like attacking us, like tackling us. And then when they got touched, they were rolling around on the ground. It's just it's not great. And then when we get that goal in the second half, after making some subs that were very much needed, we'll get into that later. It's just they're trying to slow the game down so much that they have to start laying on the pitch, and start crying, start screaming at the ref for that they got touched. It's just awful to see.
You compared it to basketball.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
touch
like
pass.
touch fouls. Like, oh, he touched him. He's rolling around. Oh, it's a free kick.
No, it was tough to watch. You kept on complaining about it last night. You were saying that this is some of the worst football you've seen. But let's get back to that first 20 minutes then.
Sure.
Or first, I would say the first 15 minutes.
First 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, first 15 minutes. What happened?
Low happened.
Damian Lowe happened.
Damon Lowe happened. And not to say that he's a bad player, but when it comes to getting the ball in the midfield, he cannot do anything. He doesn't show himself. And when he shows himself, it's a bad touch and does not have good awareness. And that's just facts. And then, of course, just the collapse of the defense pretty much on every single time we lose the ball. There was Damian Lowe. We just absolutely just fall apart. It's 3 people against like 5 guys who are just running, they're sprinting. I felt like Ecuador in the first 15, 20 minutes were way more hungry than us in a way. And then obviously when they get the lucky goal, it just keeps on going.
We'll talk about the lucky goal in a second, but to summarize what you're saying is putting Damian Lowe in the midfield was really not the best option against a team like this, because when they pressed, you or Jamaica could not escape the press by finding someone to, as you say, show themselves and collect the ball.
And then Bobby didn't drop back like at all. He was just
In the
up
beginning.
there in the beginning.
I mean, yeah, but he did that towards the end.
Exactly. But then also, when you don't have anybody to pass to, as I said, as I hate when Jamaica do, they just kick it away. They kick it up and then they're hoping for somebody to get the ball, which never happens. They can't just like kick up the ball right next to the sidelines and then hope that somebody incredibly takes it.
We have to do better as a coaching strategy when it comes to kicking the ball up to the winger from a defender. A defender's job on the Jamaica team is to become the best long passer ever. Like, ever.
Yeah. They want us to have like our center backs are supposed to be like prime center mids, just knows how to make a perfect ball. No, they don't.
They don't know how to do that.
Exactly. They're championship center backs. They're not the best in the world. They're very good, but they're not the best. And I think, as we saw later to go on in the game, it only works when you keep the ball on the floor. We play short, simple, and then we get slowly up the pitch, and then we're gonna get that chance. But now in the beginning, it was like panic. It was like, oh no, we got the ball, we gotta kick it away. And then we just lose it.
They kicked away a lot of balls. A lot of balls. But okay, first 15 to 20 minutes, chaos.
Sucked pretty much.
Midfield was non-existent. I would say Palmer was a part of that, because he could have also come back and helped with getting the ball out of the defense and getting it up the pitch to the final third. But yes, now to the lucky goal. That actually came off of Palmer's foot.
Yeah, exactly. That you can't really blame anybody for that goal. If I'm gonna, some people will blame the goalkeeper. Some guys are gonna just blame the whole team. But there's really nothing nobody can do. It's like it's a lucky touch. Everybody's like position is just completely wrong. It's a lucky goal, and we kind of, I would say it almost gave us a kick, like a little extra boost, because after that goal we started playing a little bit better. But just in general, that goal was lucky, and otherwise we probably would have won the game if that little touch would not have won in.
If that touch didn't go in, I mean, if Casey Palmer's foot didn't try to block or touch the ball, it would have been a normal
cross to
And-
one guy with like 5 defenders.
Yes. Simple. Everyone out there that's watching this, that was the definition of a lucky goal. I don't even know how that went in. Still can't understand how someone trying to block the ball ends up putting it in their own net.
When the person is on the sideline next to like the corner flag.
Crazy. Just absolutely crazy. Then we get into after that, after that, the strategy for me to you was, hey, let's just hang on until halftime.
Yeah.
And then we'll make some substitutions, which we knew
was needed.
But prior to that, 44th minute,
exactly.
Greg Lay.
But the thing is, I also added that. You said, just we don't concede. I'm like, yeah, and we better not give away a penalty.
And we gave away a penalty.
We gave that away.
Yeah. You know, that was a tough one. It's tough when you give away handball penalties in the box. Obviously, it's really difficult to say that it's not deserved. The hands aren't a part of football, except if you're Ecuador. Yeah.
So
if you're Ecuador,
yeah,
you can play with your hands all day.
Yeah,
play with your hands. Play with, you know, do a little 1-2 with your face. You know, no problem. We're going to get into that even more in a second, because after halftime, we came out, we made the substitutions. We put on the guy that should have started, Damari Gray. I don't understand the coach's decision there to not start him. I don't get that. Tell me.
Yeah. I don't get who told him. Because he probably planned the lineups up, right? Early before the game. Gray is not going to start. I wonder where that decision makes sense. To not start Gray. And then to have Nicholson to play as bad as he did against the Mexico game. Just ghosting. He's ghosting until, yes, he had like 2 good things, but that was like late. Like a lot of things could have happened before that. So I think from a coaching view, it's really bad of him. But I think the second that first goal went in, I think he understood that he's gonna get fatigue. I think I saw that on him when they cut him. Obviously there's a lot to change until the World Cup qualifiers again, which is next year.
We got Nations League.
We got Nations League, right? I wish him the best.
The coach.
Yeah.
Listen, we can't fire the coach.
We can't fire the coach yet.
We can't fire the coach, almost, period. I think the coach is making obvious mistakes.
Yes.
Very obvious mistakes. And he needs to know that he's making obvious mistakes and correct them going forward to save his job. Although he has 2 bad results now in Copa, I would also say again, both of those goals, and the third one I'm not counting, both of those goals in the first half from Ecuador were lucky goals. The first one was extremely lucky, and the second one was from a penalty handball that was, I don't know what Greg Lay was thinking, even having his hand there, but it was there, and we got called for it. And then we put a goal in, Antonio put a goal in, after a whole lot of prayer from us, at least.
I was praying.
We were praying. We put one in, and then we're praying again.
On the Nicholson.
And we got the opportunity with the Ecuador handball. But VAR says that it hit his face first, and then it bounced to his hand. So technically, it's not a handball.
Because he couldn't do anything about it, but his hand should not be
But his hand should not be there, but it did affect that, you know, the landing path of the ball.
Because it would have landed there, but then landed there.
But no, it's not a handball according to these Chilean and Argentinian
VAR and
people.
ref guys, yeah.
Guys, you can't make that up. Like, you can't possibly make any of that up.
And also to pause the game for like 5-10 minutes to look at that, and then they decide that it's wrong or that it's not a handball, and that means Jamaica's already lost all their momentum that they had. So I think just overall from the referees, something has to be wrong. It feels like because there is not a chance in the world that they had no bias in that game.
Yeah, I don't think so. And we're going back to the first thing we said was it was a robbery.
Yes,
Jamaica got robbed point blank.
and it isn't even close. Like you cannot argue that there was no bias.
We said at the end, this was a confirmation for me and
Yes.
you, I think.
Yep.
When Antonio was laying down in the box, he got hit in the face. And he finally just like, all right, I'm out. Like, what is going on? He's he's on the floor. Like,
first time.
That was the first time, yeah.
In 90 minutes, the Jamaican actually laid down.
The entire match.
It's 90 minutes and one and a half hour of tough football. And we lay down once.
How many times did Ecuador lay down?
More than I can count.
Can't count.
Yeah. They got touched and they started rolling.
So listen, Coach Holgrimson.
Right.
If you're watching this, you're not watching this. But if someone is watching this and knows
who knows that man,
tell him that his friend in Ecuador tricked him.
Yes.
His friend in Ecuador that he knows so well, that he knows how the strategy is, actually said, these Jamaicans are going to come in here and try to play tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my guys to sell everything. They were falling down when there was not even a Jamaican player near them, much less a Jamaican player touching them.
I remember it was like 5 plays, which was a foul in Ecuador, but Jamaica didn't fall. So then Ecuador fell instead.
Right.
And they got the call. Yeah, exactly. They tackle a Jamaican, the Jamaican like touches them, and now they're hurt.
Tough football to watch, everyone. We're obviously very disappointed. On to the next. We thought it was going to be the worst team last, and now it's going to be the best team last. Venezuela squeaked out a 1-0 versus Mexico, so we'll see how that goes for Jamaica.
Technically, we're still in it. Technically.
No, we're not. How are we in it?
I have no idea.
We're not in it. There's zero chance that we're in it. I don't think so. I don't think we're in it. So, guys, on to the next. I do think a Venezuela win would make all of us
very happy, but kind of too late, sort of.
It would have been nice to go to the next round and everything, but they don't want us there. They do not want us in Copa America.
Jamaica.
They don't want us there.
The Caribbean team was a small island.
Yeah.
What?
Actually, that's going to be the caption.
Yeah.
We got robbed. They don't want us there.
Yeah.
Peace, guys.
Peace out, guys.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.